Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 35 of the Pokemon Cup series. Today we're here at Twin Ring Motegi, Japan for the running of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 500. Our regular season finale for Season 35 of the Pokemon Cup series and of course World Tour 35's season finale. And this is it folks. After this race we will know who's in the playoffs on wins. So this is how the scenario is going to go down. If we have a repeat winner here in Motegi, the driver with the most points at the end of the regular season the driver with the most points at the end of the regular season will get the final spot. If we have a different winner this season after Motegi, that driver gets in as the last driver in the playoffs. So it's simple as that. So here we go. Everything on the line here today. Cassandra Kirker in the 31 starts on the pole. On the outside will be the one of Cullen Francis, and both have one win to get themselves in the playoffs. James Richardson, Priya McShane are in row 2. They would love to get a win this season. Richardson, I believe, has a win this season in season 35. McShane does not. So McShane would love to... let me check. Let me check if Richardson has a win already this season. Not too sure. I think he does. He does have a win, so yeah. And McShane does not have a win, so she has to win out to get into the playoffs. Carter Freeze and Brianna Russell are in row 3, and only Russell has a win. Chandler Caudell, Grayson Acevedo in row 4, and only Caudell has a win. And Ezekiel Hines, Evan Hunter round out your top 10, and neither one of them have a win. So a lot of these drivers have no wins up to this point and would love to get into the playoffs. This is the last chance to do so by winning here at Twin Ring Motegi. And the driver with the most points, if there's a repeat winner after this, again, that driver with the most points gets in the final spot in the playoffs. So one spot at least will be given out to after this race. So you don't want to miss it. There will be no stages in this race because it's the regular season finale, and we just want to go through all full-out racing without adding up all the playoff points, stage points, whatever. It is the regular season finale, so no playoff points will be given here at this race, and we'll have the playoff picture set up after this. 34 laps around Twin Ring Motegi in Japan. Someone's gonna walk out of here with a playoff spot, either on points or by winning this race. Here we go, to the green flag we go, and we're underway. The Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 500. The regular season finale is underway in Japan. How about going 4 wide for third place? They're really racing now. Man, you could tell these guys are racing their hardest because they were at briefly 4 wide. Ooh, they're getting real tight. Look at how close they are. And Vargas just went around. Christian Vargas just spun. The 00 just went around. The yellow flag will be out. I think Giovanni Castillo was the one that made contact. Spun around. And the yellow will be out. Cassandra Kirker is going to be out in front, racing to the yellow, trying to hold off Priya McShane. Acevedo, Francis top 5, and Kirker is going to hold off. Going to lead to the yellow under caution. So Kirker leads, and again, no stages in this race. Just flat out racing for the final playoff spot in Season 35. Here we go to green. That quick, right? 2 female drivers battle. Cassandra Kirker, Priya McShane, both battling for the final playoff spot, even though Kirker already has a win this season already locked in. So McShane wants to try to lock herself into the playoffs. Richardson, Francis, Hunter, an elite top 5, all battling for another win. Evan Hunter has not won this season, surprisingly, so Hunter looks to add another win here. Here comes Acevedo. Here comes the 21. Uh-oh, they're making contact in the back. Zachary DeLello, and he gets turned around by Ben Goldman and takes out Billy Bishop in turn 4. And the yellow will be out. Kirker leads to caution again, second one of the race. Another spin. That was Zachary Fitzwater that went around behind Giovanni Castillo into turn 4. So he too spins out. And the caution's out for the second time. Kirker's led every lap so far, but can she hold on over Priya McShane on the restart? Here we go, green flag. 3 cars out of the race. James Richardson is now into second place over the number 20. Both of them trying to get their second win of the season. Oh, Kirker's in the pit road. Kirker gets into the pits. McShane gets a high line run and takes the lead. Wow, Kirker decides to pit early? I never expected that to happen. Caution's out. Might work out to her favor if the others pitted. Ryan Butcher contact with Anthony Lopez, and Sebastian Kukulon gets turned around as well. And I believe that's what brought the caution out. Might be a lucky break for Kirker if the guys in front of her pit. McShane led for now, but we'll see if it pays off. They're not pitting, so it's not a lucky break for the 31. She'll just have to get it back in line. Alright, this will be interesting. But I'm not sure why Kirker decided to pit at the end there. Kind of weird, kind of really early, but I don't know, might be part of her strategy. Well, we don't know. But it sure cost her the win here, either way. We're going back to green. Priya McShane trying to get into the playoffs. Can she do it? Can she join 17 other drivers in the field? James Richardson on the bottom lane with Francis ahead of him. By the way, defending champion is in second place, I thought I might add, so I'm sure Francis is just looking to win for the second time in this season, or I think third time I believe this season, and would probably join Lopez, the only drivers with 3 or more wins in season 35. Because it might sure be likely that Francis could be repeating as a champion if he can win it more races. 15 laps left, and now we're coming to 14 laps left. This is going to get fun, folks. Brianna Russell in the 4th, and Josh Drake runs 5th. Drake, of course, needing to win and to get into the next round. To the playoff round, I should say. And Lopez off pit road. Not going to affect the leaders in somewhat. Here comes Francis, and he'll take the lead from McShane. Caution's out. Austin Stitzel with a spin. Francis leads to yellow flag. Austin Stitzel went around near the start-finish line, and I believe Diego Yep has made contact. Yep. There's the spin. Stitzel goes around that 24 car. And Colin Francis will be in front. Handful of laps remain. Gonna come down to the wire, folks. 9 laps to go. We're going back to green. Can Cullen hold on? Can James Richardson and Priya McShane hold on? And here comes Richardson. Second place, he'll take it from McShane. Now he's eyeing on the one car. On the bottom lane, trying to make the pass. And Eli Bright up to 5th place. Francis and Richardson, all they want is to win again and get bonus points out of this. McShane, only chance she'll get in the playoffs if she wins this race. And now, top 3 separate. Gonna be coming down to these 3 for the win. Here comes McShane down low, trying to get a run for 2nd place. Here she comes. Right on the bumper, trying to get the side draft. Can she make the move? Yes, she can. Into the 20 car into 2nd place. There we go. He got it. No, she got it. 5 laps, I believe, to go. No, 6 laps to go now. I thought it was 5. It's 6. Drake now passes by. And James Richardson wants the 2nd position back. Might be good news for that one car. Trying to pull away and win this race. And Richardson into 2nd. He goes. Back to 2nd place. 5 more laps around. 5 more laps in the regular season. Yellow flag is out. And it's for Philip Goldberg. And this race might be decided in overtime. Oh boy. We're going to have overtime here in Twin Ring Motegi to end the regular season. And determine who's going to get in the playoffs. And McShane gets 2nd. McShane takes 2nd place to the yellow flag. Will that have any effect in the run? Goldberg spun. I'm not sure we're going to get back under green after this. I don't think we will. Let's see if we will. I doubt it. And we're not going back to green. And we will be running overtime in Twin Ring Motegi. Oh boy, baby. It's going to be overtime in Twin Ring Motegi to end the regular season. Doesn't get any better than that. You don't want to miss the end of this race. It's going to be crazy. So here we go. Overtime is coming up next. Here we go, folks. 2 more laps here in the regular season. Who's going to win in Motegi? Will we have another winner, another unique winner here at Twin Ring? Or will we see the driver with the most regular season points lock that last spot in the playoffs? One spot will be determined here in Motegi either way. How's it going to work? 2 more laps around Motegi. Here we go. Overtime. Green flag is in the air. Look at Richardson already on the trigger. Right behind the one car. Here he comes. James Richardson. And here comes Josh Drake. Richardson to the lead over Francis. Josh Drake behind him to the white flag with 1 lap to go. Josh Drake in 2nd now. Gonna have to give it all he's got to get the 6. He wants to get in. Final lap here in Motegi. Here it comes. Josh Drake for the lead on the last lap. Does he have the run to turn 4? Josh Drake on the bottom. He's got him. Josh Drake is going to do it. Coming back out of nowhere. And he'll take the last spot in the playoffs with a win in Motegi. What a race. Josh Drake has done it. He locks up the last spot in the Cup playoffs. Out of nowhere, he takes the win. What a finish. Josh Drake has won it and he makes it in the playoffs, the last driver to make it in. He has done it. What a way to get your first win. Another first-time winner in this season. It has been so kind to rookies here. And Josh Drake adds his name to the playoff field. Wow. Josh Drake has won it at Motegi. Oh boy. Was that a great finish. Josh Drake makes the pass on James Richardson. He came out of nowhere and he took the win. Wow. Josh Drake, man, he did it. He did it. He got the win in Motegi. He's in the playoffs. So, now it's time to reveal the playoff field for Season 35. Who's going to be in? And who's going to be your regular season champion? So we'll see who's it going to be, and we'll find out right now. So here we go. Playoff field revealed. Alrighty guys, here are the final regular season points and how the playoff points are going to work. So, as you can see here, Colin Francis is your regular season champion. I've added up all the points from 26 races and the playoff points and the stage points and the bonus points they got from stages. All that. I've added it up. Hopefully I'm right because it was a lot of math to do. It took me a while to add up all the points, but I hope I got it right. So, Colin Francis is your regular season champion, and he won the championship last season, so he's the first driver to be a regular season champion and a Pokemon Cup Series champion overall. So Colin Francis the first to do so. Congrats to him on being the regular season title holder. Then James Richardson followed him, 11 points behind Francis in regular season points, and then John Andrews in third in the regular season points. Margin between him and Richardson was 1 point. And then fourth was Diego Yepes, who had the most regular season points without a race win. And then for those who actually earned playoff points but did not get a win this season, those playoff points will convert to regular season points to make up for it. So for example, Ben Goldman had 3 playoff points he earned through this regular season, but since he did not get a win and make it to the playoffs, those 3 points converted to regular season points and were added to his total. He was actually tied with Alexander Rowe in points at 689, but with those 3 points converted, he was able to get 692 in points in the regular season. Rowe, though, did get a win this season, so those regular points won't matter. He's in the playoffs, and he'll be competing for a title. Goldman has been eliminated without a win. Steve Morgan, 680 points, and Romanek 672. Neither one of them have a race win, so they will not compete in the playoffs. Philip Goldberg also didn't have a race win this season, so those 2 playoff points he earned through the season on stages, those are converted to regular season points. He had 655 and now he's up to 657. Gonna keep the same position he had before. Derek Ham only had 1 playoff point he gained in the stages, but that 1 point will be converted to regular season. Even as little as 1 point will be converted to regular season points if that driver does not make the playoffs, and even though the driver earns a playoff point or a couple. But here are the rest with Kukulon, McShane, Scully. Reagan Whitlock had 2 playoff points, will be converted to regular season points since Reagan didn't win a race. Neither did Evan Hunter, so his 1 playoff point will be a regular season point. Benjamin Miles, 2 playoff points, but since he had no wins, those 2 points converted to regular season. And Hines and Dylan Kroom, I have to note that Dylan Kroom had 562. However, he had two playoff points here in the stages in the regular season, in the races. So those 2 points converted to regular season because Kroom did not get a win this season. Those both playoff points, by the way, came in Raw Game UK, and Kroom, because he didn't get a win this season, those 2 playoff points became regular season points, and he ended up moving to a tie with Ezekiel Hines in points. So to break the tie, the driver that had the best finish in the regular season will own the tiebreaker, and if that's still tied, then the driver that gets it first will break the tie. Ezekiel Hines' best finish of the regular season was 4th in a race, and Dylan Croome's best finish in a race was 5th. So by rule, Ezekiel Hines is above Dylan Croome in points on that rule. And there's also Marcus Sachi and Carter Friesen also tied 517 points. Sachi earned a playoff point for winning a stage in one of the races in the regular season, but since he didn't get a win this season, he's now in the playoffs. The one playoff point became a regular season point. He moved into a tie with Friesen in terms of the positioning. However, he had a best finish of 2nd in the regular season race, and the best finish Friesen got was a 3rd. So that's how Sachi was able to be ahead of Friesen, even though the points were tied. And one more thing to note, Pichu, as I mentioned earlier, has one win this season, which would have normally gotten into the playoffs. But since he's one of my own drivers, I've decided to make him ineligible for the playoffs, even with a win. That way everybody has a fair shot at competing for the championship. And the strange thing and the very, very rare occurrence that Pichu would actually win the title wouldn't happen here in the Cup Series, since he's one of my own drivers. So that possibility is taken out, and it's a fair fight for the championship. So, and the rest of the playoff points, as you can see here, all the playoff points the drivers earn if they make the playoffs have been added. The stage wins that they got have all been added, and also they also get 5 playoff points for every win they get in the regular season. One race win gets you 5 playoff points, and more than one win gets you 5 times however many wins you get in the regular season. So James Richardson, for example, he had 1 win in the regular season, so he got 5 bonus playoff points for that. Cullen Francis had 2 wins this season before the playoffs, so he gets 5 times 2, which is 10. And Anthony Lopez, who led all the drivers with 4 wins this season in the regular season, 4 times 5, 20 points. And the second column for these playoff drivers, the second column represents however many points they got. So the playoff driver that earned the most regular season points got 15 bonus playoff points. Second most got 10 playoff points. Third most got 8 playoff points, and so on until we reach 10th most, which only gets 1 bonus playoff point. That's also been added too. And finally, every playoff driver will get 2,000 playoff points to start off, in addition to all the playoff points they've accumulated depending on where they stand in regular season points, race wins, and of course stage wins. So all the addition, all the math you see here, but I made it simple right down below right here. This is the playoff field for season 35 of the Pokemon Cup series. Cullen Francis, of course, most playoff points of any driver to start off, 2,029 points. That's all in the playoffs. Lopez will have 2,024 points. Andrews will have 2,021. And you see all the drivers with their playoff points totals next to their names on the screen. I won't go through every one of them, but I do know there are 18 drivers that'll be playoff drivers here in season 35. So 2 more than the maximum that NASCAR usually allows. But again, since there's no limit in all 3 of my series, it's an all-out fight for the championship. So again, every 3 races we will have drivers eliminated. The first round will have 18 drivers, and 6 of those will be eliminated after 3 races. We'll be down to 12 drivers in round 2, and then in round 3 we'll be down to 8 drivers, down to eliminating 4 like usual. In round 3 we'll have 8 drivers competing for the title, and then when we head to Zanjoltas for the season finale, only 4 drivers will compete for the title. And of course, the highest finisher among those 4 drivers will be declared your champion, as always. So that's all the playoffs you need to know in the Cup Series. Of course, we're still not done with national and truck races. We will continue the regular season for those two series. And then Gravis City, of course, that's where they'll have their regular season finales. And we'll do all this again at the end. So anyway, good luck to all the playoff drivers here. And one more thing, I'm only going to award stage points to playoff drivers if any playoff driver earns points in the stages. The ones that didn't make the playoffs during the playoff races will not earn stage points nor any playoff points in those races for that matter. And the playoff point will only be awarded if a playoff driver wins that stage. If a non-playoff driver wins a stage, no playoff points will be awarded from that stage, and they will not receive the 10-point bonus. That will only be applied to playoff drivers. So the stage points and the playoff point will only be applied to playoff drivers if the playoff drivers finish the top. If playoff drivers finish the top 10, and some of them, or even one of them, finishes in the top 10 at least. And of course, if the playoff driver wins the stage in that playoff race. So every point is important for these guys. But anyway, I know I ran a little long, but I just wanted to get through as much. I just want to explain as much of this as possible. So anyway, good luck to every playoff driver. This is Pichu London, and I'll see you guys next weekend for the start of the Pokemon Cup playoffs.